Hey guys, welcome back. This is Anabelle. I am a filmmaker and the author of The Skeleton Key and also a recovery activist. And today we are talking about that autopilot we talked about in part 1, which was kind of a primer. And I want to revisit this subject with you guys today. How to reset the inner autopilot, part 2. So as you know, in our body, we have a consciousness and we have an awareness. Now, this consciousness and the awareness is not always 100% in action. That means we do a lot of unconscious things. For example, me gesturing, right? I mean, it's connected to my brain. But I'm not sending to my hand, move forward and do this. It's connected to a more unconscious flow. Or when I'm throwing a ball, I'm not giving conscious directions to my hand. So last time we focused a little bit more on the physical components. Mind you, there's so much more to talk about than just this rough outline. The work there is to do for you to drill into your health and wellness sciences, and I'm saying deliberately health wellness because you don't want to drill in all the problems and feel really scared and really bad. You want to drill in the solution-based research, which means, okay, you find out what your body needs and how you can replenish your body. The whole research approach is not to be mistaken for scaring yourself, right? It's the opposite of that. It's about actually looking fear in the eye and noticing, wow, okay, the stuff I've been avoiding, I'm now finally looking at. Okay, I've done damage. Sure, we all do damage. The whole experience of being alive is a process of damage, right? Because the older we get, we have accidents, this and that, and we're not meant to be around forever. So don't beat yourself up about your findings, but rather see them as an opportunity to figure out where the real band-aids are, what kind of vitamins your body needs right now in order to stabilize, what kind of foods are good for you, not just looking at the whole enemy side of everything. The same with drugs. Medicine can be a poison. It depends on the right amount. And you have to find out what your body needs to come in this equilibrium in a healthy way. And you have to figure out those toxic processes that you're still a little trapped in and that you are not aware of. So, cut a long story short, today, because again, here's the red thread going through. It's awareness and consciousness. So a big part that we need to discuss is what's going on in here and in here in our gut, not just on a physical level. I would almost say, let's call this a spiritual level without getting into what you believe, what I believe. I'm not talking about that. We all believe in something. We either believe death is all black and it's over and done with and there's no point to life. I don't recommend that kind of belief, by the way, because it's very bleak and there's really not much sense to being alive. I recommend digging a little further to find inspiration rather than doomsday. What I'm talking about is digging into who we really are. Why are we here? Why are you here? Because if we want to reset our autopilot, it's not just the physical aspect, it's the definition of ourselves. We have a whole set of beliefs that is made up of what we've been taught when we were little, what people said, things that hurt us, things that helped us. Our belief is a collection of experiences that we have been given by the environment we grew up in. It's a whole mix. And to reset that autopilot, we can dig into these less conscious beliefs That is a big part of resetting that autopilot. And the more we are aware and conscious of what's going on with us and what is good for us, and we set ourselves into a happy and nurturing environment, the more likely it is that we have a happy and nurturing life. If we make ourselves priority number one. I have another video about the difference between being selfish and making yourself number one. That's something you can watch in addition to this video. But I want to talk about how we can make choices that serve ourselves, our health, wellness, and recovery best. Choices that we think we don't really have. How can we reset that autopilot? For example, our body image, our self-image, all this collected knowledge that we made our belief system. I tell you a secret. You can choose to let go of old labels, of old pain, whatever is holding you back. If you go there, give it a gentle kiss goodbye and the gratitude that it served you to become who you are today, you can let go of old definitions of yourself. For example, these definitions include I can't, I won't, I will never, I'm too this, too that, not enough, not worthy. Whatever these old beliefs and definitions are, let's not even talk about God and spirituality, what you believe, what I believe. Let's talk about what we believe about ourselves, and let's filter through what truth do I want to live? Because you have a choice in this. You have a say in this. It's not just that you can reset. You have to reset if you want to live a happy, healthy, and conscious life. Now, how do we do this? It's the same approach that we had with biology. Now we're talking about psychology and spirituality. It's intertwined. If you leave out the other two parts of a balanced person, the whole thing will crumble. We are not just made out of atoms and numbers and fibers. We have a mind and we have feelings. You can tune in with your emotions. This is where you have to follow your bliss, right? Following your bliss goes all the way up. And whatever feels blissful is definitely the right path. What feels overwhelming, what feels horrible and terrible and frightening, and all of that is going down the other end. Now, how do we move up? The trick is you don't jump from the bottom to all the way to the top. It is a process, right? It's like climbing a mountain. But the awareness is the very first step. When am I feeling crappy? And then you can find out why. First you find out when, then you find out why. And if you keep on asking in a loving way, in a kind, loving way, where you give yourself a hug and say, hey dude, why are you so upset right now? If you take a moment to listen inside, if you can meditate over it, you will find the answer. Let go of old beliefs that do not serve you. You can do this today, right now. You can make a start defining them, those old negative beliefs. No belief about you that is negative is valid. Unless you want to continue to have an addiction. Stop beating yourself up for your addiction, right? That's one of those many, many, many things where you thought you were a loser. Who cares? The past is the absolute bloody past. And right now, you have the opportunity to reset that button. Right now. Do it. Follow your bliss. Love you.